Well, hello everyone. I'm Joshua Haddad and this is A.T.I Draws. I'd like to welcome you guys back to just another wonderful video. For starters, I'd like to thank you guys for all the support for the last video, for all the videos beforehand, and just thank you for just being a very, very wholesome and respectful community towards me. Giving me the love and support I have, along with continually watching my videos every week as I come up with more and more to not only have fun with the art, to show off some stuff, and then just improve as an artist. It's been a great. I deeply appreciate the help that you guys given me so far, and I deeply appreciate that. So I thank you guys again. For this week's video, I know that I was supposed to do both older individuals, which I decided it would probably be easier for me to do an older female and to show you guys how like the older structure or just a body would work in general for an older individual. I guess we'll focus on older females right now because that's what I did. And I'm going to do the abnormal figures next week. Just due to time differences and me wanting to spend quality time on each one to ensure that we all kind of understood and just had like a quality understanding on it. And because I also have to, learn as an artist, I don't really know everything, so I do have to learn. I wanted to be able to effectively learn and to grow and to draw effectively the way I'm supposed to. So I want to also give you guys quality videos so you guys are able to see the art, see the way things are looking, and being able to effectively draw them on your own. But instead of me talking on for all day long, let's just get right into the older figure. So for the older figure, it is quite literally the complete opposite of drawing a younger figure. Like we did last week, like how I talked about last week. When drawing a jaw for the smaller figure, you would draw a little thing like this, and then you will immediately curve in for a young child. For an older figure, you want for a youthful figure, you want to do a little bigger one. Mildly bigger, you don't want it to be a little chunk. You want it to be a nice size thing, and then you want to arc it around. Now, for an older figure, you kind of want to have it go all the way down as low as you can at the last possible second, then you want to turn. And the only reason why it is that way, that it is like that, is just solely due to the fact that with older figures, they have fully developed appearances. So due to that, you want to ensure that when you're drawing these figures, that their structure is more developed, fully fleshed out. One thing that I kind of did for the head, I don't know if you could see it, because I did do lightly with the soft eraser. I drew the head, I drew a circle, and I drew the head. I did the same thing like I told you. I drew the arc at the last possible second. But to ensure that the adult head was fully covered over, I went back over it, slightly over. So I was able to do more of an in-depth human head. So it will look more well fleshed out, more grown, more just a better overall structure instead of it being kind of floppy and all over the place. I thought this was better because it allowed for more of a structure with the character, and this came off as more professional, my personal opinion. Another thing that we also have to understand is that because the figure is older, their eyes are not going to take up as much as the head. So usually you see my eyes being usually about like from about to down here. I lower my eyes a little bit, so it wouldn't be as much, and then I made the eyes a bit more narrow to give more of the calm demeanor an older person, well, just the more fleshed out demeanor an older person would have. So for her, I kind of gave her more of a cooler, more calmer demeanor as someone who kind of had more experience with life. So that helped out quite a bit with the older appearance. I also decided to add these little divots in here, which I don't really add for the younger figures because I feel like it feels weird in the character, but I added it here because I wanted to make sure the character was more older, and since the character is more fleshed out in age, I figured that adding the divots inside the character would definitely help out. I also made sure that the eyelashes were more, and that she also had, of course, this part of the closing eye flap there. And one another part that I like to add to make sure that the character was older, I just thought it would be cute just as an extra. It was just a little beauty mark to the mole right there. Kind of added that like a little bit ago, honestly, before I even started recording. But yeah, so I drew the nose. I just made sure I still had the nostril like I usually do. I drew the mouth, and then I kind of messed up, but then I realized that this looked kind of like a lip. So then I just drew more of that so it would look more cooler as a lip. Probably gonna fix just this little bit. I'll fix that later. Now getting on to the body. Now because the figure is obviously older, we want the figure to be just a tad bit taller than our regular youthful figures. Either that or just around the same height. It doesn't really matter too much, but you want to make sure the figures are more grown. So if possible, just make the figure taller. But again, I know for some characters like males would naturally be more taller than females in most cases, and some females are just naturally short and don't really change that much height over a course of time. So it really just kind of depends on what you're going for character design wise, because some characters would just be shorter and some characters would be taller, but on average keep it about like the same height to a little bit taller, and it should help out. Now one thing that I will say for more male like figures is, because when you're getting with an older figure, I know for you can broaden the neck just a tad bit, so you could go just a bit more out, like kind of like this along the jaw. That's terrible, Lord help me, that's terrible. You get the point. But yeah, just a bit more broader and more out, so is able to not like really like excessively thick, especially if you're like trying to keep the character more balanced muscular wise. You don't want to have anything out of the ordinary, but just like instead of like you having the character have like a normal jaw here, you can just add just add like a nail, a hair's breadth of an inch. Add it on. If you make the neck thicker, the character will be more developed, and if you add more muscular features, add more things that just makes the character look older, like maybe add a beard to the guy, maybe add more of add some gray strands, maybe add more muscles, or add a bit more height on the character, or have a specific character design or outfit that'll make the character look more older in age. So things like that will probably help out with a male character a bit more, that I think will help out with the male character a bit more. Of course I drew females because it's easier for me to do that at a quicker pace. But so with the female sculpting, it's basically the same principle still apply, except the only difference is you kind of just want the body to be just, because when a female gets older, their body reaches like a peak in like muscle and like fat, but females have more of a stronger fat distribution in the lower half of their body. So now that they're fully developed, the fat distribution will go just a bit more down here. Oh, let me just select this hand. There we go. So you can see a bit down here. So now that we're down here and you can see this, you also want to make sure that the entire figure in itself is just a bit more structured. So now you have to make sure that your anatomy is obviously a lot better, but make sure that the character has more of a defined torso, just a more structured torso. The arms and everything are a bit more structured, but everything else, it's not that much of a change. Just, I guess, broaden out the character a bit more, add some more distribution to the lower half, and add a better facial structure. Try to make the character seem older in age as much as possible. I know there are people who are definitely a lot better at explaining this than me, but on YouTube. But yeah, this is what I like to do with drawing these older characters, is basically take what the skull, the overall skeleton of the character, and the muscles and how the body distributes fat, and just kind of add more to it. For males, make them more jacked and older. You got a beard or clothing or whatnot, or taller. And then for females, you could just add more of a structure to them, add a more cooler, calmer demeanor, so shrink the eyes a tad bit so they're able to look older. You can add the beauty mark, you add glasses, you can add whatever. For example, if you add like shades or whatnot, wow, hold on, just give me a second. You can add like the little glasses here that kind of come across, and then, you know, just little like shades or stuff that I didn't place in the right position, honestly. Yeah, you can add like shades or stuff in, and then kind of just have it on the character. If you want the character to come up more like that, you can add anything that'll make the character just seem older in age. By doing that, you will have a more older age looking character. Again, I do recommend adding these eye divots and like for like both structure for the nose and the eyes, because that really does help make the character appear to be more older. You don't have to do that, of course. There are many other ways to make the character seem older. That's just how I did it. But before I talk too much, I will finish up this artwork. I will get right back into this conversation. After I finish drawing this character, finishing up, and I'll show you guys the process of it and some things I changed afterwards. Well, I'll be right back. can see here, I did finish the art, of course. I did indeed decide to add glasses. As you can see here, it's not the best, but I did add it. I did finish her as a artwork and a drawing. I did want to add up just something nice just to place up and a quick background so it could be nice and presentable. That's my goal. And yeah. So when drawing a MILF-like character, the whole objective is to make her as older as possible. You kind of want to plump out for basically a MILF. I know we're supposed to do older characters, but I guess I'll just stick with like MILFs for now. I guess what people call them, older mothers, yeah, MILFs. Just basically draw a more older physique with more structured appearance. If she has of course, when you're drawing her head, you want to make sure that her skull and her jaw is just a bit bigger. When you're drawing her hips and you're drawing her torso, when you're just making sure that she is just being sculpted in an anatomy part, just make sure things are just a bit more bigger. And it's just solely to the fact that she's grown. And because she's grown, you want to add more to it. Now, another thing that you also need to take into account for is when drawing these characters, the whole goal is just to have just a more calm but like elderly appearance. That was my goal, kind of making this character. So as you can see, yeah, she looks like an older person due to her demeanor, her clothing, her outfits, and also the action she's doing where she's carrying groceries and she's carrying a birthday bag she comes off like she's older, appearance wise, just comes off like she's older. That's basically the whole point of you doing this. But yeah, that's it for the older people art. I hope you guys actually really enjoyed me going out my way to demonstrate how to draw different things, me learning how to draw different things and drawing it for you guys. Again, I'm so sorry about the video being late last week and the video being late this week. I'm so sorry about that, guys. It's just I've been very busy and I'm trying to get the art and stuff in, so please bear with me. I'm not trying to be rude or make you guys wait or anything. I'm truly sorry about that. And then there's rendering times and then YouTube's got to process the stuff, so I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for you guys. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I'm not trying to make things worse and trying to be inconsistent. But yeah, I'm deeply sorry about that. But I hope you guys really did enjoy today's wonderful video. I did try and learn how to draw, an older woman, just so I could let you guys know. But yeah, I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe. I always deeply appreciate when the efforts going on here. If you guys want any other video suggestions or ideas, be sure to let me know. I will be doing the awkward or abnormal character builds for next week, and then I may be doing color theory after that. Outside of that, give me suggestions. I'm always willing to learn, to work, and to grow. But anyway, that's it for today. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.